Motivation in Motion. Own your moment and get better today. All right, Coach. Hey, appreciate you sitting down with me. Why don't you go ahead and tell everybody who you are?
My name is Larry Turner, and I'm the head baseball coach here at Owasso High School.
You've won a few games here.
We have. We've been very successful, had great players and great coaches.
You know, I'd love just to talk a little bit about, you've been here for more than 4 decades, right?
Right.
And so let's talk a little bit, but you were also a player here.
Yes, that's
So
correct.
let's tell everybody about your playing career here.
Well, I played football and baseball.
Okay.
And I tried to play a little basketball, but that didn't work out so well. But played football, and main sport was baseball, and was catcher, and happened to, in 1973, we captured our first state championship, and I happened to be the first baseball all-stater in Owasso history.
Wow. And then where'd you go into college?
I played at Connors Junior College, and then played a year at American Christian College that was in Tulsa, and then finished up my playing career at Phillips University.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
Now, you came here as an assistant, right? You shared that. So just for a few years, though, right?
4 years.
Okay.
Yes. Came back with my old high school coach, Melvin Spencer, and coached football for a little while with Gary Harper, and that was a legend here. And then I coached, was head softball coach for a few years, and then one of my former players wanted that gig, and so I just went strictly full-time baseball in about 86 or 87, somewhere in there.
When did you know you wanted to come back and coach here, or just coach in general?
Well, I always thought I did, because I thought so much of Melvin Spencer. He was like a father figure for me. You know, I grew up without a dad from when I was 1 year old. My dad lived in Tulsa, but for whatever reason, it was never in my life. And so my Uncle Arlie was, growing up, was who helped raise me with my mother and included me in, in things. And then Coach Spencer, and then Coach Harper, they were just great mentors to me, and I just knew that I wanted to be like them. And like I said, Coach Spencer passed away. It's been 2 years now, but I talk to Coach Harper still to this day, and I love that man. And
he knows how much he meant to you.
He does, still to this day.
Wow,
100%.
Now let's talk a little bit, because Coach Bill Blankenship had sent me your resume, and it's quite impressive.
Wow.
But you obviously got into it for a totally different reason.
Sure.
So where did your faith come into this journey of that?
I just wanted to try to, over the years, make a difference in kids' life. I wanted them to maybe have a I don't know, father figure, but have someone that cared, that anybody that might have the same type of have gone down the same type of road that I had, or maybe in a divorced family or something, and knowing that they could come to the ballpark every day for a couple of hours, and there was going to be somebody there that loved them, and they didn't have to deal with the everyday issues of a divorce or something. And we just wanted to try to make them better people than they are players, and if we have some success, that's a bonus, but we want to grow up to be great husbands and fathers and just good men.
If I could just can that right there, Coach, and give it to every young coach that starts coaching, I think then I have done my job.
Yeah.
It's easy to look at the wins and losses and the success that you've had here, but the motivation behind it was so pure, so I appreciate you sharing that.
Sure.
Coaches, the reason I wanted to just participate in this for whatever the good Lord asked me to was because coaches had changed my life.
Yeah.
Right? Didn't have that same thing that you're talking about. So the men that I'd come across in my life, I was like, man, they were reflecting something that I wanted to be about. And so to share your story out there, I really do appreciate that.
Sure.
So let's talk a little bit about how many championships, because it's okay. I think sometimes as Christian men, sometimes we shy away from that, and I love the fact that we'll take ownership and the blessings too. So how many state championships?
Owasso has 14, and I've been a part of 13. One as a player, and then Coach Spencer won one when I was in college, and then I've been head coach to 12.
Okay. Do you know how many losses you have?
I think 248 maybe.
Okay, that's what I saw in print.
Yeah.
So
Something like that.
we'll go with it. How many wins?
I think it's 1248.
Okay. How do you baseball plays so many games compared to sports that I've participated in.
Right.
So how do you deal with one of those losses?
Well, you don't deal with them very well.
I love
I mean,
it. I
as a
love it.
competitor, I mean,
Hit me with it.
But we just try to have a one-game winning streak every day,
Okay.
and we always want to have a chance to win the last game of the year,
Yeah.
and put you in a great spot. But you have to you've got to ride the wave. You can't get too high, you can't get too low. You just got to ride the wave, and I don't do a very good job of it, but if you watch a big league manager in the dugout, unless they're going out to argue or get thrown out, they never have any emotion in the dugout. I mean, they're just stone cold, just no emotion. And so you try to make the players at ease and just and not put too much pressure on them. And if you lose, you have to move on to the next day and just get ready and roll again.
Yeah. Well, clearly what you're doing is working. So if you're yelling a little bit, I say maybe some of those baseball managers need some of that. I don't know. I'm an old school football coach, so yelling's just part of it.
Sure,
right.
sure.
God gave me this voice. My daughter gets scared when I'm in the stands because she's like, I can hear my dad.
Right, sure. Yeah,
cringing
yeah,
up. So
yeah.
let's go.
We're going to coach them hard. I mean, we're going to coach them hard and level them at the end of the day and pat them on the butt and move on. But we're going to coach them hard, but they know that we care and we want them to maximize their talent and effort and be hooked up in all phases.
Okay, so let's transition over. So you've left a legacy, 3 daughters and a son.
Yep.
And tell me what they're doing now.
Okay, well, we'll start with my wife. She was in the corporate world forever, and she wanted to be on the same schedule as us, and so she went back to school and at night and everything, and spent about 10 years getting her degree, and so she's been teaching for 22 years maybe now, and just gotten her master's degree and teaches a unit on Vietnam. She's big into veterans, even though she's an English teacher. But so she's doing that. And then my oldest daughter went to school here. We all went to school to Owasso, my wife, everyone.
Okay.
And so
this is home.
Yes. And so my oldest daughter, Tiffany, she has taught here, senior class sponsor till last. She was an English teacher. My wife's English, and till last Christmas, and then she filled in the rest of the year. She had just finished her administrator's degree and became assistant principal at an elementary, and then was hired full-time to starting this year. So, and she was our director of baseball operations. She was our DOBO. She talked to the scouts and did all the stuff that I'm not good with, administrative type stuff. And then my middle daughter Meg, she's an English teacher as well.
Wow.
And she's the head volleyball coach here at Owasso, and has had great success and probably has the potential to have her best team that she's ever had this year. So we're really excited.
That's great.
And then Jilly Dog, we call her Jilly Dog for like a chili dog at the ballpark, but Jilly, she's taught her first 6 years at SkyTuke. She wanted to do her own path, but she is a history person, and she's the only one not English, and she could coach volleyball over there, but we'd always try to get her to come back to Owasso, and so she came back this year, and so she'll be coaching volleyball and teaching 8th grade history. And then my son Dodger, he played for me. He was a pitcher, first baseman, and he is a firefighter at Broken Arrow, just finished a year, and just passed his paramedic class and stuff this past Monday, so 15 weeks behind him, so he's pretty relieved of that. So
what's it like now having those daughters on campus?
It's great. I mean,
none of the campus is big. I know you're on multiple locations, but
it's great. Just because that was the thing that for me, again, speaking back, not having other than really my mother growing up, for my family, I've had a lawn care business for 40 years. Everybody's worked in that, so we spent all of our time together. And so I've cherished that morning thing, and then having them in the same building and stuff, just run down and see them, or if they need something. It's just better than I've ever deserved. It's great.
Wow.
Yeah.
If you don't mind, would you share a little bit about your wife and just the commitment to all the coaching? I can't imagine how many sports and games and ball games she has sat through at this point.
Oh yeah. She has been my number one fan,
Okay.
but also my number one critic. I come home, and whether it's win or loss, it doesn't matter. But why'd you take him out in the 6th inning, or why'd you do this, or whatever? You should have done this, and so she has all the answers for me.
It's okay.
But she loves the game and puts up with a lot, because we've gone a lot, and just the travel and the grind. But again, I'm blessed from, and she was a high school athlete. She played basketball back when it was 6-on-6 back in the day.
Okay.
But she's really good. I mean, she knows the game, and she can.
I like this.
Call me
She's
out.
giving you tips. I mean, I heard your record. So she's like, okay, now coach, why are we doing this? Like, what made this go on? And she's questioning literally a position change. She's watched a little ball.
Yeah. So.
Do you ever walk away from that conversation and go, I think she's right? You just don't say it out loud.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, because
we'll send that to her.
Yeah.
We'll send her that for Valentine's.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because you second guess yourself all the time. So it's like
especially on the losses.
Yeah.
Right.
And then whenever she's correct, then you go, man, she even knows.
Yeah, there's something biblical to that. I love the fact that she challenges you. I know the fire and the way that you coach, and how you've been described. And so it would make sense that you need that at home too.
Yeah. No, she keeps me in my place. I assure you.
Yeah, I've always, I think some of the greatest marriages are the ones that really sharpen each other.
Yeah, sure.
So it's not like you're going to get a hall pass.
Right.
Yeah,
No.
You don't need that, right?
No.
What are we going to do tomorrow, Coach, to get this turned around?
Yeah.
You're on a 2-game losing streak.
Yep. Yeah.
So, I mean, you've put a massive legacy here. What's next for you? I mean, what do you think about every day when you wake up and you think about Owasso and your current position? And
Well, I know that I'm blessed to be here and still being able to do this, and try to be innovative and change with the times. You can't do some of the things you did 20 or 30 years ago, and you have to evolve and do some things different. And I was smart enough, I feel like I was smart enough early on, never looking for someplace, a greener pasture or something, to go to the next spot, that I felt like that, I had it good here, and I wanted to realize that, be appreciative of what I had and not take it for granted. And just every day, just try to make it better and embrace it, and be appreciative that the administration has allowed me to continue to do this.
no sign of the Owasso machine stopping soon, huh? You wake up every day, this is what you want to do, passion around it.
You better believe it.
Yeah,
I'm
asking a question that I already know the answer to.
Yeah, I just retired from teaching in May after 45 years, and but I can't see myself stopping from coaching, because I love it, and I love being around the young kids, and I still enjoy going to the ballpark and being there every day, and so good Lord willing, and
I love it.
That do it for few years longer. And
I'm sure there's so many men that have come off of that, off of your staff. Are there some of them that you keep in contact right now that are they're building their own tree? Do you have any players that have gone into coaching?
Oh yeah, sure.
Got any that come to mind?
Well, I mean, like just early last month, the College World Series was going on.
Oh yeah.
I had 6 former players in the College World Series. One of them is the pitching coach at ORU, Wes Davis.
Wow.
And then I've had a bunch of guys go on to be that are head coaches now and stuff. But it's great that I have guys all the time that we text, and we always end it with I love you. And no matter what, every day when we finish weights early in the morning or practice at the end of the day, I always tell them I love them. It just, hey, be careful, driving, all this stuff. And because I taught driver's ed for 25 plus years, and those things you don't maybe get a chance to do over if you not paying attention or watching out for the other guy. It's not like messing up an English test and you can have a do-over, you can take it over.
Yeah.
So I just always tell them, be careful and I love you, and just I want them to know that I really care about them. I've had guys call me that couldn't call their dads or something at the time, and I'll try to be there for them.
It's interesting. I think FCA said it years ago about, a coach will be someone that sometimes stands in the gap, right?
Yeah.
For those
Yeah.
men and women that don't have that.
Yeah.
And of all the things that I thought I was going to sit down here and learn today from you, I had no idea that it was fueled from potentially a divorce and a situation in which you grew up. And now we've got decades and decades of men that have come through this campus and still more to go.
Yeah.
Right?
Right.
Because of what you would consider a negative event. Has changed into something that's changed a ton of lives, and so I want to say thank you for sharing that.
Well, you're welcome. You're welcome.
I think so often as coaches we just get that opportunity and we forget what those men and women are going through sometimes, and so I love the heart and why you do this.
Yeah, I mean, back before you really had cell phones and stuff, you'd have a player come in, maybe need to use the phone, call his mother or something. A couple of times comes to mind, but they forgot something or needed something or, whatever the case may be. And we didn't like the way that the conversation went on this end or the way they talked to their mother, and we would make them call their mother back and apologize for the way they talked to him. You may do that at home, but in front of us or something, you're not going to do that. And, you're better than that. And so. Those
are great standards.
Yeah.
And, if I was a young coach and I was coming up, what would you tell me? What would you tell me if I want to go into high school coaching? What would be some of those survival things that have made you so successful?
Well, I think, don't necessarily get wrapped up in the wins and losses. You're there to serve and meet a need for, the student body, to make them a better person and stuff. Things that we do, we try to do something every single month with our team outside of baseball, whether it's go read at elementary school. We have gone down into the little pottery ceramic place. The kids will get them a little coffee cup or a dish or something. They'll paint it and everything. We'll go over on Veterans Day to the VA hospital. They have to go in and sit down with an old timer and engage them and thank them for their service and give them this as something for their service. Christmas time, we do Neighbors in Need. We go up and buy gifts for families. Kids donate their own money. We go do that, and then we go down to the Neighbors in Need and pack the hams and the lunches and everything and put it in the cars to the people so they can see that they're not as bad off as they think they are. And I just think it has worked well for our players and our coaches to see and just be involved in the community. And again, it's the wins are a bonus, but making a difference and making people better is the goal for me anyway.
What is some of that coach speak that you give your kids to remind them of that? Because I know kids and I know culture and we want to win and I get all that. So what are some of those locker room talks like that you kind of that pull into and say, okay, this is why we're doing this?
Yeah, just the way that society has gone some, that we need to keep our values, our core values, and we'll talk about what they are and we'll have them write down some of their things, and we just talk about that stuff and make sure that we're all on the same page and that we're the old cliche, we're all pulling on the same rope.
Yeah. We had one coach describe during one of our talks as, the world's gotten louder, but the kids haven't changed.
Yeah.
And so I think there's more for them to hear from a noise perspective, but that really made me resonate that day. And so I think what you're doing is grounding them back in those simple values.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's we know this as coaches. It's really the fundamentals that win and lose,
yeah.
right?
Oh,
it's
sure.
not. It's not what you're drawing up,
yeah, sure,
and all that. And then I know talent helps, but it's really about giving that talent the basic fundamentals and then doing it every day to a discipline.
Yeah.
So I know you're not done. So this is a little different because I've interviewed a lot of people that are retired. Okay,
Right.
But if I could still take a little can of this and set this aside, and you just kind of, I know you've thanked your family. What would you want your family to look back on your career and say about it?
Well, I hope that they've enjoyed the ride. I'm very appreciative of them giving their dad up or their husband for so many days and evenings for me to chase my dream or my passion and make a difference. And I'm really appreciative and thankful that they all love the game of baseball.
Yeah.
And so that's made it very, very. It's very appealing. It's made it where it's doable, and I don't feel, I don't feel like that I've neglected them, so to speak, because we've, like I said, we've worked hard together, we played together, so we've done so many things together that when the son-in-laws have come into the picture, that they just can't believe how close knit our family is, and that we do everything together, and whether it's worship, go to Life Church and stuff, whatever it is, we tend to try to do
it together.
Yes.
Still attending church together.
Yep.
That's awesome. I always think that God gives us exactly what we need for the tool chest and the work that He's assigned us to. So it sounded like He gave you the bench that you needed.
Yeah. No doubt. That's great.
You got a cheer squad. And I love that. If there was anything that you would just want to kind of capitalize, maybe let's just talk about next year. So you just came off championship.
Well, 2021 we won it, and then this year we were, my wife was on me so hard that we had a couple of injuries. Of starters, really good players, great players, and she made the comment at one time during the season, "You guys aren't even going to win 20 games. You guys are terrible." And I was like, okay, whatever. And so then we make a run, and we get those couple of players back, and we get beaten the semis 2-0, and we were on house money. We got everything out of our kids this year, and so obviously we won more than 20. So that we remind her of that every once in a while.
I love that.
And so, but we got a chance to be really good this year.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Good.
And
well, I tell you what, I'm not a huge baseball fan, I gotta admit it.
Yeah.
My ADD, I was probably the only sport that I was actually gifted. Played for Coach Graham at Edmond Memorial, and then quit on him because he tried me at every position, and I still wanted to pick daisies and do something full speed all the time. So I couldn't handle the sport, but I've changed my perspective after sitting down with you today. I love the legacy that you're leaving, and I will be an Owasso baseball fan, and so I really do appreciate it, Coach.
I appreciate that. Yeah,
No, it's
that means
great,
a lot.
man. Thank you so much.
You bet.
Appreciate you.
Yeah.